Hey, kids, look what's new. A brand new cereal just for you. Twinkles, the new star-shaped cereal in the Storybook Package. See? Inside, delicious, crispy, crinkly stars. And outside, a real storybook. All about Twinkles, the magic elephant. See him fly with his rotor tail. Watch him do tricks with his magic trunk. Meet Twinkle's friends, Fulton the inventor, Sanford the parrot, Wilbur the monkey, and more. Read all about their adventures on every storybook package of Twinkles. And wait till you taste those golden little stars, filled with the goodness of energy oats and corn. Remember, only Twinkles has the storybook package. Just tear the magic line and your storybook opens. Twinkles, the new star-shaped cereal in the storybook package.
Hey everybody, I'm doing this little bonus stream, which probably we're not going to have a lot of people watching live, but maybe you guys will watch it on YouTube. I just wanted to go through Twinkle cereal a little bit in depth, and since I already had the cereal stuff out and I'm doing a couple cereal live streams, I thought I'd just quickly put up this live stream and talk about Twinkles boxes. Twinkles boxes were a thing that when me and my buddy Steve started collecting, it was one of the main things he was looking for. So we were always on the lookout for these bad boys. And they're really interesting boxes. This one's from 1960. This is the fourth series. There actually were 7 different series of Twinkles boxes, and they made 6 each. So there's, of the Twinkles storybook boxes, there's 42 to collect. So it's a pretty complex collection. I wanted to kind of run through how you can collect these if you're interested. I do think also maybe Jim Rash has an online list of all the boxes, but it's kind of fun to dig into what makes these boxes unique. The main thing, the first thing that makes them super unique is the storybook package. And what that means is they're basically, each box is a comic book. So the first page essentially is the front of the box. Then the side of the box is like the second panel, and then you flip it over and we have like essentially the fourth part of the story, and then inside we have the fifth and the sixth. So each one of these boxes had this special little page on the back, a little comic book page, and you'd tear off a little strip and it would release this page. And you can see if this box, it's a mid flat, but somebody actually, the little thing hasn't been torn off, it's just been pulled back. So we actually have everything on this one, which is really nice because we can really see what goes into a box. And as we see when we look at the rest of these, you don't usually get to have all the information that you have on this one box. This one box, we have, beautiful front. We dated 1960, so we know that's when it started. Then when we flip it over, we see up in this corner, it says 4A. And what that means is this is a 4th series box. Just to make it even more complex with these boxes, the first 3 series were not numbered. So if you find one that isn't numbered, it's probably from series 1 through 3. Okay? Then the next trick, it says 4A. And so on each different iteration of the Twinkles boxes, they would run through the different things. You'd have 6 different boxes, and they'd be lettered A through F. So this is 4A. So this is 4th series, 1960, and it's the first box in that series. And the story is Twinkles and the Island Vacation. So that's the mid flat. Let's look at this is one of the later series. This is one of the last series, which you can tell because it has this big regular. But once again, I think it's just series 4 and 5 are numbered. Then when we get to 6 and 7, which are these regular and the sugar sparkled, those ones are back to not being numbered. So it's another little trick, and we can see up here this one's dated 61. So these are the last ones. The very last ones have this big triangle that either says regular or sugar sparkle. So that's sort of the basic outline of these, and you can see it's the same. This one's, it's the same tear thing down there, and the same. Well, actually, these ones are interesting too, because these ones have abandoned that side panel, so it's just front and then the back. That's the whole story. So we lose that sort of side panel thing. So the very first series are these boxes, and the way you tell these boxes is they're a little more painterly, and they have this letter right here is in all of these a little larger, and you can see it has these little stripes on it. So they all have the lettering like that on the first series. And the S. And if you flip around to the back, you can see this one has the D. So that one's the fourth box. But if you look at all these I have right here, all of these have had that part cut off. So when you're initially collecting these, it's kind of tricky to sort out what you're looking at. But this is the whole first 6 of the first series, which is Twinkles and Leopold Lion, Twinkles and the Sleepy Baby Kangaroo, the Buried Treasure. So let's not try to completely cover up everything. And as you can see, I think all of these were painted by Mel Crawford, who's the guy that did a lot of the little golden books, and so the paintings are just gorgeous. I have a piece of the original art to these, which I think I've shown somewhere else. We'll dig that out again at some point. And the back things, they're all painted and are amazing. So those are the first 6, and you can, as I said, you can tell them by how that first letter is. So if you ever find one and you want to know, first letter is the thing to check on that series. Okay, now we get to the second series. Second series is like those, but it has this. It has just a sort of how do you want to say it? A much more plain letter. I think they're all red. Yeah, so all these ones, that letter is red. So you just look for that red letter, and once again, we've got the letter on the back, but other than it having that F, you don't know. Super good looking. Here he is in a detective outfit. The Unknown Creature. And Twinkles' character was created by General Mills, and then on the King Leonardo show, which was one of the cartoons of the day in 1960, the General Mills sponsored that cartoon, and so there were actually Twinkles cartoons on the show. And it was Twinkles, and then it was Sanford the parrot, and then Fulton was the camel, and then the monkey, what was the monkey's name? Wilbur. Wilbur was the monkey. So that was the whole crew. And as you see, sometimes the kids would get sort of, would have some fun, and they'd cut the boxes up and make them into little books, glue that back, and you have it as a little book. But as you can see, most of the times when these show up, they're just like this. And so amazingly, these do show up quite a bit, which is great. Great for the collector. Now series 3, one of the other tricks is, if we're seeing, the first 2 series do not have the little storybook package. It says storybook package right there. The first 2 series do not have that. So if it doesn't have the storybook package thing on there, it's probably going to be from the first or the second series. Third series, once again, just has the A through F on the backs. And what's typical of the third series that usually makes them stand out is this sort of fade in here. So whereas this one, is just straight into that blue, this one has this nice little fade in, and this one doesn't. This one does. This one does. This one does. And this one does. Wait, did I pick up one from the next series? Maybe I picked up that one from... No, I don't think so. I think this is one of these ones. And as you can see, this whole thing is endlessly complex. Let's see, the letterings are the big... And these, yeah, if you see these letterings are this sort of larger letter that is in whatever color is necessary for the story. And I mean, that's sort of, you know, this one we painted it in. And that's sort of the fun of all this collecting, is you have to sort out all these little tiny bits if you want to figure it out. Great one. This one's really wonderful with the spaceman. Day of Rest. You know, this one's, for some reason, the kid cut that whole big beanstalk. Now, with the fourth series, things get a little easier. On a good fourth series box, boom, 4F. You know exactly what it is. But, you know, like I said, sometimes, I think maybe all these ones, sometimes the kid trims it off. So you have to look at some of the other subtle things. Well, once again, these ones have that little bit of fade in on some of them. But the other thing is we've lost the letter. You know, the first letter of the story is not accentuated. It starts with the twinkles in the magic lamp. So these are the fourth series, Butterfly Hunt. This one I think I showed you in the flat. And this is the one I have the original artwork to. School Below the Sea with Cool Mermaid. Nice little cowboy one. This one you see on the back, the printing's off. Some printer's going to get yelled at, and this one's really nice with the koala bear, which they say the teddy bear, but it looks like he's a koala bear. Fifth series is it's the last of the ones that says Storybook Package. You know it because it says 5 on the back like that. Look at all these ones. 5A, 5C, 5F. These ones are pretty similar to 4. 4 and 5 are pretty much similar. Billy Goat. But it doesn't look like any of these have that sort of fade in up there. Yeah, none of those have the fade in, so that's a little difference that you can see in the 5s. Now 6 and 7 came out at the same point, same time, I assume. You know, everything's supposition, but as we saw with the, where was that one? With this one, these are from 1961. So I think probably those first 5, at least the first 4 were probably all in 60. Maybe 5 was 61. You know, I'd have to find a 5 complete box and see if it's dated. But these guys are broken up into 2 categories. These are the regulars, and like I said, these ones. And if you look on the back with the lettering, just has an A. And like I said, the other thing about these ones is they lose the side panel thing. So kids didn't know how to cut them as well. And as you see here, we have a listing of a bunch of them, which is super cool. So as you can see with this series, only got 4 of the 6. So there's more of those out there. And then we have the Sugar Sparkled, which like those other ones, let's see if I even have any of these that are lettered. I only have 1, only have one that has the letter left. All the rest of them are torn off. Carnival. And actually, these ones have some. These ones, do they all have text on? No, just this one has some. It's kind of interesting. It has some text on there. And I mean, I think these ones, I don't think they did a second. Down here real quick. Twinkles in the big tent and the stubborn mule and the scarecrow and the carnival and the stubborn mule. Look for these. Oh, and so these ones, so the one says what's coming, and the other one says what's in stores right now. So, I'd have to look at all that. One Elephant Carnival, that says Carnival, so that's story's coming soon. So maybe these Series 7, I don't know. It's a mystery. Let me go through these all really slow. So talking on that one. A lot of these ones have the talking on them, don't they? We're talking on this one. Talking. Talking. No talking. I wonder, I want to just double check. Yeah, these look like they're all exactly the same time period, and there are 6 of them. And looks like the design is all exactly the same on these babies. So that's the end. You know, that's the end of the storybooks. So they did 42 of them. So you've got your collecting cut out for you. And then what happened after they did all those? They replaced Twinkles with this little dude, the Twinkle Sprinkler, who's a little fireman. And what happened? The story page is gone. No more story page. They did do some other Twinkles boxes where they had the page, but it wasn't a comic like thing. It was cutouts and games with Bullwinkle. So you see those sometimes, and they're on the back of these boxes sometimes. So if you do see other ones that look like the pages, they are Twinkles, but they're later Twinkles post when Twinkles the elephant was in charge. Here's another box. This is another mostly complete box. So that's sort of the rundown on Twinkles. I hope you liked it. Twinkles is one of those really fun characters, and you can find these boxes sometimes on eBay for $15, $20, $25. You know, the cut down ones, not complete ones. Complete ones are usually quite a bit more, but you can usually find them, and they're a good addition to any cereal collection. And Twinkles is a great character, and they're beautiful boxes because they're fully painted boxes, and you know, just the amount of effort. You know, imagine they were putting these out, you know, every 3 months, 2 to 3 months. They probably came out every 2 to 3 months, because if they did 4 series in a year, it came out every 3 months, and you have to, you know, Mel Crawford has to paint all those paintings. Those guys must have been absolutely amazing painters. So that's a little bit of Twinkles. I hope you like it, and if you like it, check out my other videos. Maybe subscribe. Maybe get a little thumbs up. You know, thanks again, everybody, and I'll be seeing you next time.